off after that. He dropped Wankster. Now we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about, I ain't saying these next two people is Wanksters, but this fight kind of emulated that song a little bit. We're gonna talk about Jared Big Baby Anderson versus Charles Martin. Now,
Yeah.
now I get a phone call, right? I'm minding my business. And Ricky's like, hey man, you gonna watch the fight? And I'm like, who? He like, your cousin. I'm like, who you talking about? My cousin ain't fighting. I'm thinking some world star stuff going on here, right? You like, nah, the real Big Baby. My bad, my bad. The real Big Baby Anderson fighting Charles Martin. So, I cut on the TV, I cut the fight on. It's my first time actually watching the real Big Baby fight, right? So I'm like, all right, this gonna be entertaining. I'm gonna take some notes here. And then I hear in the background, they're saying, oh yeah, this guy he's fighting, bro. He got a 10-day notice. So I'm like, okay, 10-day notice is gonna be easy. 3 rounds max, maybe 4. Nope. Fight almost went the distance. Fight went the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't win the distance. But that shows you the
No, it should.
now, hold on. That shows you the tenacity that these boxers have. Tony just alluded to it. Nobody's scared. We all work hard at our profession, right? So at the end of the day, you make the call, I'm gonna be there. Me, I was just going on the side of youth. That's why I was picking Big Baby to win this. I mean, it was unanimous. But since you jumped out there, Ricky, you jumped in the ring. I'm gonna start with you. What was your recap of this fight?
Man, I'm a fan of Big Baby. I've been saying that for a minute. So, but this fight was definitely needed. This was definitely needed. Charles Martin is not no slouch. You know, he done fought some top names, and he definitely put him to the test. You know, because yeah, I bet you when Big Baby went back to the gym, he's like, yeah, I need to work on everything. Going the distance, you know, what to do when I'm getting dazed, how to continue to stay in the fight. Because this was one of the biggest tests I done seen him had. And then I think this is the only fight he ever went the distance on as a professional. So yeah, this definitely showed that, yeah, just because you youthful don't mean nothing. Because Charles Martin was definitely giving it to him. Blow
Yeah.
for blow.
With the
Pause.
same punch. With the same punch. Same
Yeah, with
punch.
the same
Over
punch.
and
Yeah, the
over.
same. I mean, Charles Martin did change it up a little bit. He did change it up a little bit, and that's what got Big Baby days. But I do got to give it to Big Baby for staying on his feet and still, still pressing. But he need to know when to press and when not to press. I feel like a lot of fighters, once they get dazed, for some reason, it seems like a lot of fighters, once they get dazed, they still want to keep pressing or show that they're not hurt. When you need to really kind of move around and get readjusted, you know what I'm saying? When you get hurt like that, but he won. He pulled it through. And I'm trying to see what he's gonna go with it now with his career after this fight, because I know he's not really he don't really have a heart for boxing. This is one of them ones that's really fighting for, like, this is his job. Like, I don't want to, like, it's like when you starting off as a kid, you get your first job, you work in retail and you don't want to be there. Yeah,
Mm.
this is how boxing is for him. Like, he don't really want to be here, but he just has the talent and he's just trying to move forward with it.
Fast camp.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely was an eye opener. I know they going back to the drawing board. Whoever, I'm saying, this team, they got to go back. It really showed that, Charles Martin is, I'm saying, a B fighter. So what he's faced top level, opponents. What this shows is that Big Baby really ain't ready for the top opponent. It's no way. The top
Mm-hmm.
tier guys, and it's like, maybe 4 or 5, and then there's a couple B fighters that he'll have that same issue with. Up there, you got people like DeBose, who B level, you mess around, throw Chris Areola. Chris Areola might give him some rep, and he kind of old or whatever, but he come to fight. So I think they go back to the drawing board, and he needs to work his way up. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I say it don't really happen like this because they're trying to move him in a certain way. But I say he takes that fight again. I just say, because if you do go in this next fight, go fight somebody same level or up. I mean, because if you fight down, you're not going to see that you've improved. So, you fight up or you fight equal, this is a different fighter. But if you take that fight again and then show improve and show that you actually did work on stuff and now you can, take them out. But let's just say, he go lateral, and I don't know who we want to, put on Martin. Martin's a vet. He's been there for a while, probably gatekeeper. You put him in against Areola. which is about the same, maybe a little bit up, and he doesn't really improve, it's like, he really gonna get exposed at that point. So I like his skill. He actually can turn out to be one of the better skillful smaller heavyweights, but he ain't no way. He ain't no way he gonna mess with Tyson. He gonna mess with Wilder. He gonna mess with Joshua. He ain't messing with Killian. You know what I'm saying? He ain't messing with dude from Ukraine. He not messing. What's the Russian dude? Yeah, Usyk. And what's that Povetkin? He wouldn't hang. He wouldn't hang with Povetkin.
No, he wouldn't hang with Povetkin.
Absolutely. So he he need to get in the lab and need to work himself up, because he is also too a smaller heavyweight. So he, don't rush that. Please don't rush that. He needs time. So that's just my opinion.
Hey, don't rush. What's that song? I can't sing it. Copyrights. Tony, what's your take, man?
I don't like what they're saying is just right. I mean, I can't really add to that, man. He needs to get back into in there and work on some things. If this was a 12 round versus a 10 round fight, I think he'd have been in trouble. Right? Because Martin, because you saw what happened at the end of that 10th round. He hugged him and thanked him for not hitting him no more.
He did,
because he was done, and it was the same punch. Like like Ricky said, he switched it up a little bit. He would throw it at his chest, at times, right? And he would touch him with it, and and Baby would think it was cool, and then he would throw it right at his chin. Every time he hit him, he buckled. And so it was like I don't know if he's ready. And see, I keep thinking back every time I watch this fight. As the fight went on, I kept thinking of that Roy Jones Jr. clip with him.
Man, I ain't want to bring it up.
And I kept thinking of that clip, right? So I was looking at it and I was like, man, he really don't like this. Right? Like he's really not into this, because he could have took Martin out in like the 4th round or something like that. He could have really taken him out. Right. And I was just like, wow, but he let him stay around. Then that 5th round, it was just like, apparently Martin had talked to, had went and had confession, because he blessed him. And I was like, oh man, he may be in trouble. Now he came out and adjusted. I will say that he came out and adjusted, and he listened to his corner and he adjusted very well. But yeah, you were fighting a guy that has fought some of the top guys out there, right? So that this is this guy, and he's gone rounds with these guys, and he's put in the work. Like, you haven't put in much work. Like that's the first time he went past like the 6th round, I think it was, right? So he's not. So it was an eye opener for him. Hopefully it was one of those things where he was like, all right, you know what, I'm here for a reason. Let me get in here and perfect this skill that I have. I have talent, but let's perfect it, and then go out. And I do think that taking the Martin fight, I thought about that, and I was like, nah. But you made me think there again, fast camera. Like, I think he should take that fight again.
That would be. I agree too. I agree too, because
it's a measuring stick.
Yeah, it is. And then Martin. Like, I'm going to agree with you on that 4th round. Yeah, Martin, I don't think, even if he did put the gas on Martin and get that knockout, I don't think it was going to happen, because Martin been there. That's why he was able to sustain so easily. He been there. So it was nothing, because you see what happened when he came back. After he shook it all, he came back. Oh, you going to stop putting it on him. But another thing, baby, if you're a small one, that smaller heavyweight, you have more of the agility and the movement on your side. So when you put in the press, you gotta shift, move around, stop lining yourself up with the same hit. Like, you the smaller guy. Normally the smaller guy is, faster, move a lot more swifter, but he was not moving that way. And he just kept, and then it's just saying, like, when he did move, he just landed right there, bam, get hit with the right. When I was like, dang, big baby, like. I think I called Tomo and told him, I was like, bro, this fight gonna go the distance. I said, he's fighting a well-seasoned vet. This definitely going the distance.
You called it. You called
But
it.
yo,
That's not the only fight you called, nigga.
But
But
yo, if you listen to Charlo, one of the Charlo twins that was at the fight, I think he was, he kept saying it to him, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, why is he not cutting that off? Like he's moving around, and like it was a whole dance the whole time for like maybe 2 or 3 rounds. It was like a dance. I was like, why is he not cutting that off? Like if he cut it off, he set up for the knockout. Right. And I was just like, why is he not doing it? So it's like certain subtle things you need to learn. Get over there and get him back. Because if you watch it, Martin was going the wrong way at one point in time. Right. And I was like, what is he doing? But he was setting him up. And then he was like, is he going to follow me? That's basically what he was doing.
He followed him.
And he followed him the whole time, bro. And I was just like, yeah, he got to cut the ring off. Cut the ring off. I'm getting tired of watching this. Cut the ring off.
Baby is one of them fighters that him having his record, it hurt him for this fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't have no one to test him, and just thinking, that's why you see that the 4th round, he was trying to get him out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, oh yeah, I got him this one. I'm used to it. He got comfortable. But you gotta understand, these are big boys you fighting. Like, you might be one of the smaller ones, but these are some big boys you fighting. He definitely, I'm agreeing with a fast camp. You gotta take this one slow. This gonna have bigger injuries than any other weight class messing with these big boys. And I look.
Young enough to take your time.
Yeah, take your time, because you don't want to be like Joshua again, coming across a Ruiz and get hit one of them and don't bounce back properly. And
time is on his side, so I mean, he doesn't have to rush it.
But that's the thing, he's rushing it because he don't want to box for long. He want to be done in like 3 to 4 years, and I'm like, that's impossible.
And they all saying, I want to be done by I'm 30. I want, you know what I'm saying, be a millionaire and done by I'm 30 and all of that stuff, whatever. And it's like it takes that, like, you can't just hop out there. They be thinking they can hop out there. Now, maybe, I don't know, and because this is a new era of boxing, maybe it came up, well, it pretty much came about after Floyd or whatever, but maybe in the next 5 or 10 years, you'll have everybody trying to fight that way, so it'll balance itself out. But you still got people who put in work. Like, with new Ryan and all of them dudes that are like, they try and get the money and they want the biggest fights immediately, ain't been tested, you know what I'm saying, still around, like you said, that 20-0 mark. Everybody, you know how many fighters get to 18, 19, 20-0 and then still get exposed?
Yeah, about all of them. All of them.
if you halfway decent, you gonna find that, and then you go back and look, we can look at every fighter we talked about today, and you look at their history, their boxing record, and you ain't seeing nothing. So they just gotta slow down, calm down, because some will swing and some will sink and some will swim. There are some greats, you know what I'm saying, in the mix, but all of them ain't great. Some of them need work.
So look, take this message from another great. Basically, that's what Tony trying to tell y'all.
Stop it. Get some help.